Good morning. I'm going to be doing some more seed starting today. Getting cucumbers, zucchini, squashes, pumpkins, and some flowers started today. I'm outside doing it, but I thought I'd give you guys an update on how the peas are going. Not great germination. And I don't know if it's my fault or birds came and got them or what happened. And I'm not giving up hope that they're not all going to germinate. But down here, we have, I planted 3 in each cell. 3 peas are up, 1 pea up. Down here, 1 here, 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, 2 here. And then I came back through on the back side and planted collards, and they're doing great. So we'll see. If they don't all pop up, I'm just going to come back in here and fill in things like lettuce. Quick, easy grab, since we're right off the kitchen. Probably, yeah, some lettuce. And I'll probably do that today. But over here, I have the beginnings of my seed starting setup going. So got all the trays filled with soil. Well, let me get you guys set up probably in a better spot where you can see me. Busy day. So let me get set up and I'll bring you guys back and show you what I'm planning. All right, we're gonna do all the favorites, the food. So I'm planting Cinderella pumpkins again just because I really liked them. What I decided though is that they are a pretty pumpkin. A lot of people say that they make great pie pumpkins. I did not have that experience. I don't know if it's just because my pumpkin didn't mature well enough, but it didn't have much meat to it. I'm also planting sugar pie pumpkins, which are my go-to for pumpkin pie, and a super moon pumpkin. And so that's new this year. I found these the other day, patty pan squash. I saw Tangy over at Freedom Homestead grow these last year, and I really liked how she stored them, and they look like a great slicing, grilling, just delicious squash. Of course, everybody knows I love my zucchini. Then for cucumbers, we're doing the Nashville pickling. I'm going to try pickle bush. I've never grown that one before, and stonewall. So I've grown those before. And then somebody, a viewer, sent us these Native American that they just started bringing back. They found these, and somebody's working on bringing these back. Maybe it's Baker Creek or Seed Savers Exchange. And I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head. If I go find the paper, I'll tell you guys. But they grow in these like long, like shape pumpkins, and they said that they make great pie pumpkins. So definitely going to try those. And just a straight neck yellow squash. So I don't preserve a lot of yellow squash, just use those for fresh eating during the summer and sharing with friends and family. And now you guys have been following me long enough that you know that this is my first year trying to start from seeds. Now all of these things in the past, I would have direct sown in the garden, and I just get a later start. So I'm hoping that by seed starting some and getting a jump ahead, I will have maybe more time in my season to grow. We're in zone 6 here, southeast Michigan, and it's an odd microclimate where I live. Most people in Michigan are zone 5 and below, but I'm planting 2 per cell. I'll show you what my pots look like. They're larger, I don't know what size that is, 3-inch pots, I guess. Just to make sure I get one to germinate. And I went online this morning and watched The Rusted Gardener again on how he does his cucumbers seed starting. And he plants 2 cucumbers purposely And we'll actually leave 2 cucumbers per planting outside. So we're going to try that as well. And in my other seed starting video, I need to write what these are, right? Cinderella. I have to keep track of these because my last video I've completely lost track of my my tomatoes, which is fine. My tomatoes will all grow together, but I want to be able to space my squash out so that they don't have struggles cross-pollinating. And so I need to make sure I keep track of what I've got going on here. What was I saying? Rusted gardener. I don't remember. So, I guess I'll finish by saying I don't need a ton of cucumbers this year. I had a huge cucumber preserving last year with my pickles. So I doubt I'll be doing much pickling this year. Probably some more dills. And I still have a ton of my spicy honey ones. So these are Supermoon. Oh, I know what I was saying. First year seed starting. I started my first, round tomatoes and peppers and all using seed starting mix with some worm castings mixed in, following Rusted Gardener's advice. I'm all out of that, so we're experimenting here. We're using the potting soil that I had for potting up my tomatoes. Nothing else. I've not added anything else to it. It looks like it has a little bit of fertilizer already in it. So we'll see if I don't see any kind of different results. It's kind of fun for me to have this opportunity, I guess, to test out, a seed starting mix absolutely necessary. I guess this will tell me. So I'm going to go for four zucchini. I typically I've grown up to 8 zucchini plants in my garden, which is way too much. But I love preserving zucchini. I use it in a ton of things. I use it to extend my tomato harvest, oddly enough, when I preserve. So when I make spaghetti sauce, salsa, I will add zucchini, probably a third of the mixture of zucchini. And it really stretches your harvest. Zucchini is a magic vegetable. It will take on whatever flavor you mix it with. It's great for mock apple pie, mock pineapple. I just use it for a lot of things in my preserving menu to really extend my pantry. So I like to have at least 4 zucchini at all times. Some years I've just not had a great zucchini harvest though. Not often, but it has happened. So, okay, so that's the zucchini. And then with the flowers, I've never been, even outdoors, very successful at growing flowers. And I think a lot of the reason is because a lot of them require like that stratification process, which I'm not patient enough for. And so I'm going to try flowers seed starting for the first time. And I've tried to grow amaranth every single year and I never even get it to germinate. So maybe starting them indoors, I'll have better luck. I don't know. So these are the National Pickling cucumber. And I am going to do 2 per cell, and I think when I plant them out, I will leave them 2 per planting. I always grow way more pickled cucumbers than slicing cucumbers, and Todd really likes slicers, so I'll try to make it a little even for him this year. It would be nice though if I had a better, like a larger indoor grow setup, so I could really start a bunch to share. I think I'll have definitely plenty of pepper plants to share this year, but to share like all the things like the cucumbers and the, whoops, I'm not keeping track, am I? So this is the pickle bush. Oh, if you're first time gardening too, and you see a lot of videos telling you about growing cucumbers on trellis, I will tell you my very best cucumber year ever, I grew them just sprawling on the ground. They just vined across the ground, and it was my best ever cucumber harvest. So totally not necessary if you don't have the space or the resources to build trellises. It's, I guess, I have anecdotal evidence that it's not required. Okay, now the Crookneck Squash. These are from Redemption Seeds. This is my first year trying their seeds. They were generous enough to send us some to try. So I've been trying to get in a set of her seeds every time I start some, just to have experience. And I like small businesses, which is one of the main reasons that we're proud to be affiliates with Stalk, because it's a small business owned, USA made. So, okay. Oh, I guess food for thought or information that goes along with this. I am 2 weeks out till Farmer's Almanac's last frost date for my zone, but forecast, it's looking like I should plan on, I'm about 3.5, closer to 4 weeks out. So I think I'm going to be right at about 4 weeks out to putting out cucumbers and squashes, and definitely the frost tender plants. Now these I'm going to do just because I'm so intrigued with these Native American squashes. I'm going to do, and I want to show you one of the seeds up close. They're really unique. They almost feel like they have crepe paper on the outside of them. So those are the seeds. Can you guys see those? They're really fat and fluffy. But I'm going to do 2 pots of these, and just to make sure. I'm not sure how the germination is, and I really want to get a chance, an opportunity to grow them and save more seed. I feel like maybe they were found in Minnesota in some native lands somewhere. It's really interesting, if I remember the story right. The gentleman that sent them to me sent me just a beautiful story that went with them. Okay. Alrighty, that's those. And these, you guys saw my last video how much space I'm running out of in the house. And I'm going to put these in the little greenhouse setup. And today we're actually going to go get some just shop lights for the tomatoes, so I can have back my smaller grow lights for things like this. All right, so for the flowers, for the flowers, I have sweet peas, calendula, morning glories, which I grow morning glories every single year, and I just let you know, I always get the comment, careful with those because they self-seed themselves and they're going to be invasive and take over. They don't act that way in my zone. They're just an annual. I think I mentioned the Amaranth. From Haas Tools, I have quite a few of the Pro Cut sunflowers, a white one, a lemon one, and a real pretty yellow one. And then I have a teddy bear sunflower. So we'll see how these go. I'll probably do the same, 2 in each cell just to make sure I get germination. But when I plant them out, I'll probably thin them. Just if you've never grown sunflowers, their stalks get quite large and they wouldn't be able to handle that much, I guess that much competition. I think I'm going to do 2 of each of the sunflowers. I would have never thought to start sunflower seeds indoors before, but I think I'm going to see if I don't get sunflowers sooner, because usually I don't get blooms till late in the season. So I guess if you have any tips on like things like growing amaranth, calendula, and sweet peas specifically from seed, let me know, because I'm all for all the tips. I did see that my, what was the other one I planted out in the garden the other day from Redemption Seeds, a flower? They're coming up. Oh, and today it's 4 to 6 weeks out is when you should be planting your chamomile. That's direct sown outside. I will be planting my chamomile today too. All right. And I think I showed, and if I haven't shown it yet, I'll get you guys a early season garden tour here soon. And where my spinach is planted, in the back corners, I'm going to be planting the sunflowers in between, and the sunflowers as they grow up will just provide some shade to the spinach crops in the heat of the summer. Alrighty, and then the gold sunflower. If you guys have been following us since last summer too, Todd told you he was going to grow his own corn and pumpkin patch and sunflowers and have his own garden. That boy's not done nothing yet. I'm like, you're behind schedule on your garden. Your plot's not even ready. He's like, oh, I'll just go till it up once and stick some in the ground. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna have so much weed pressure and grass pressure. What was that one? The gold sunflowers. So far so good though on not buying anything to start my seeds this year, meaning like pots and trays and things like that. It really paid off over the last several years saving all these things so that I wouldn't have to buy them. So if you're just thinking about starting seeds or getting courage like I was, then I'd encourage you this year, save all your little things that you get because it really pays off big time. All right, now we're going to try the amaranth. And this is edible. So let me just tell you a little bit about it. It's a super grain packed with omega fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, fibers, protein. The leaves are edible in salad or steamed like spinach. And I just love it for the gorgeous flower arrangements. It makes those beautiful pink fuzzy drops. And but like I said, I've tried every single year. And you know what? These are tiny, tiny seeds. It says you can even pop the popcorn, the grains like popcorn. Interesting. These seeds are itty bitty. So we're just going to sprinkle some, I guess, on the surface and see if we can't get any to germinate. Amaranth. I will always envy a beautiful vegetable garden that has lots of flowers in it. I usually have some. I've got quite a few flower pots, but last year I transplanted clematis and a honeysuckle vine out there to grow up over my arbor, and they both are coming back this year. So one of these days I will have that perfect little spot that is both beauty and purpose. Now these are sweet peas. My birthday is in April, and sweet peas are the birth flower for the month of April. So I always try to grow sweet peas everywhere I live. And I think two years ago I tried growing them along the chicken coop, the built-in chicken coop, or along that fence, and I think the chickens just ate them as soon as they came up. So probably not a good idea for that. And these should act like a perennial here in Michigan. I've had sweet peas anywhere I've gotten them to grow where I've lived. They come back every year, so they should act that way. Now, morning glories, I will not put these in the garden, but they go up around the house for fun color. And these seeds we saved ourselves last year from these beautiful, beautiful red morning glories that I grew. And actually Todd was the one that saved them. And he just fell in love with them. They were good. And they produced so many seeds. So we shared a bunch with our parents as well. Calendula. I think I kind of fell in love with calendula from watching Art and Bree, and how Bree harvests it, and she had such a great harvest last year, and all the ways she uses it. I was like, oh, that looks gorgeous. And I feel like we're similar zones, even though she's so far away, just climate-wise. And I think hers come back every year, if I remember right. So we're going to see how it goes. I probably need to do a little bit more research on calendula and understand where best to plant it once it's ready to get planted out. Is that all I have left? Yep, so I'll do 2 things of calendula. The snake seeds look like little dehydrated snails. Okay. All right, we're all good for those. I'm going to get these moved into the greenhouse, water them in really well, and that is 100% it for me for seed starting indoors. This was the last of it. I have nothing else I plan on doing. So wish me luck. And today's a big garden day. We're actually going to have lunch with my son and daughter, and then when we get back we will be talking to you guys here again soon and putting up that garden fence. So appreciate you guys and happy growing and gardening where you are.